Ethersweep is an Arduino-based motor controller which enables you to use, for example, Python on your computer to drive stepper motors on your network. For example, this motor. To use Ethersweep, you have to plug it into power, for example 9 volts. When you plug it in, it automatically searches for an IP address, and as you can see, IP is currently unknown and it's using the DHCP protocol to search for an IP address. Currently, I don't have an Ethernet cable connected, so it won't find an IP address in the network. As you can see, the LED is blue, so it's currently searching. If I plug in the Ethernet cable, like this, and reboot the controller, it will find an IP address. For my case, it's 169. Now it's ready to use. You have the motor connected over here, you have Ethernet connected, and you have the power input connected. On your computer, you can use, for example, this sketch, which is pretty straightforward. You have a function which is called drive motor, and it takes several input parameters. For example, step, speed, direction, step mode, and motor IP. The steps is the number how many steps the motor should step in one direction. In my case, my motor takes 200 steps for one full revolution, which means it's 1.8 degrees per step. So let me take 100 steps, which is a half revolution on the motor. The speed is the number how many microseconds the motor controller waits between each individual step. The lower the number, the faster the motor. The direction can be 1 or 0. For example, 1 in counterclockwise direction and 0 in clockwise. And then we have the step mode. The step mode is a number for the motor controller to divide each individual step into a sub-step. If you take step mode as 1, it will make a full step for each individual step, stated over here. For my case, it's half a revolution for this motor because my motor takes 1.8 degrees per step, which means 200 steps for a full revolution. You can choose from step mode 1, 2, 4, 8, 16 and 32. So for 32, it would divide the steps in 32 sub-steps, which enables us to use more slow and silent stepping. And then we have the motor IP, which is this number and which is also shown on the display on the motor controller. Now, if we run this function, the motor will turn. We can change different parameters. We, for example, take 200 steps at full step mode, the motor will rotate one full revolution, as you can see here. And duplicate this function and change the direction after the first command has been executed, like this. And it looks like this. Or we can make less steps in one direction and more into the other, or change the speed of the other direction. We can also use more than one motor. For example, this is a script I made to control 2 axes on a CNC machine and 1 laser on this machine. We have 3 different IP addresses, 1 IP address for each individual controller. And if we do a bit programming on this, we can do some really cool stuff. For example, this.